Right now, there's a single place on Earth responsible for producing the most advanced technology humanity depends on. Not a country, not a network, one place. Inside it, machines carve patterns so small they're measured in atoms, creating the chips that power your phone, your car, your bank, your internet, even the systems that run entire governments. And if this place stops, the world doesn't slow down. It breaks. In this video, we're going to uncover the hidden choke point at the center of the global economy, how one company came to control the most critical technology on Earth, why entire industries are now dependent on it, and what actually happens in the first 72 hours if it goes offline. But stick with me until the end, because there's one detail about this system that almost no one realizes. And once you see it, you'll understand why this isn't just a supply chain risk. It's the closest thing we have to a single switch for the modern world. This is Signal and Shadow. I'm Dennis Lissack, and I investigate the hidden systems quietly holding modern civilization together. We live in an age of perceived decentralization. We're told the cloud is everywhere. We're told that because our iPhones are designed in California and our cars are assembled in Germany, that technology is a global distributed web. But that's an illusion. And while the software is everywhere, the hardware, specifically the brains of the modern world, is concentrated in a geographic area smaller than most major cities. The digital world looks decentralized, but its foundation is anything but. At the very top of the pyramid, the chips that drive artificial intelligence, advanced rocketry, and the smartphone in your pocket, the world relies on a single point of failure. That point of failure is TSMC, the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. To call TSMC a company is like calling the electrical grid a battery. It is a foundational utility for the 21st century. TSMC produces approximately 90% of the world's most advanced semiconductors. We are talking about leading-edge nodes measured in nanometers, 3 nanometers and 5 nanometers. To give you an idea of the scale we're talking about, a human hair is about 80,000 nanometers wide. TSMC is manipulating matter at a scale where the laws of classical physics start to blur, and quantum effects take over. These chips are the heart of NVIDIA's GPUs, which currently drive the entire AI revolution. They are the silicon inside every high-end military drone and every encrypted communication device used by world leaders. This isn't just a factory. It is the most complex industrial infrastructure ever built by human beings. The obvious question is, why don't we just build another one? The answer lies in a level of complexity that borders on the impossible. To make these chips, you need a machine called an EUV lithography system. There's only one company in the world, ASML in the Netherlands, that can build these machines. A single machine costs over $150 million, requires 3 Boeing 747s to transport, and takes a year to install. But owning the machine isn't enough. TSMC's real moat is human capital. They have decades of process knowledge, thousands of tiny, secret adjustments in chemistry, temperature, and light that allow them to produce chips with almost zero defects. Intel and Samsung have spent hundreds of billions trying to catch up. They are still years behind. You cannot simply disrupt this industry with a startup or a government grant. The world has been trying to diversify for years, and yet the dependency has only deepened. Think about the chip shortage of 2021. That was a minor ripple caused by logistics and legacy chips. Even then, car factories across the globe shut down. Billions were lost. Now imagine that ripple turned into a tsunami. Apple, NVIDIA, AMD, Qualcomm, the giants of the S&P 500, do not own their own factories. They are fabless. They design the blueprints, but TSMC is the only one with a printer capable of bringing them to life. If TSMC goes dark, Apple cannot sell an iPhone. NVIDIA cannot train a new AI model. The defense industry cannot replace the precision-guided munitions used in modern conflicts. When these chips disappear, everything slows down. Then it stops. What could actually shut it down? It's not just the threat of geopolitical conflict or an invasion, though those are the headlines we see. A chip fab is an incredibly fragile ecosystem. It requires a massive, ultra-stable supply of two things: water and power. A single flicker in the power grid, even for a fraction of a second, can ruin a batch of wafers worth tens of millions of dollars. In a drought, the factory's need for millions of gallons of ultra-pure water pits, industrial survival against the needs of the local population. These factories don't just need precision, they need perfection. They are built on seismic fault lines in Taiwan, meaning even a mid-sized earthquake could misalign the most sensitive optics in the world, taking the global supply of tech offline for months. Let's simulate the failure. If TSMC stopped production tomorrow, here's the timeline. In the first 72 hours, global stock markets would face a localized Black Monday. Tech stocks would crater, wiping out trillions in value instantly. Supply chain managers would realize that just-in-time manufacturing has no plan B. Within the first 3 weeks, the secondary markets, your local electronics stores and car dealerships would freeze. Prices would skyrocket as people realized that the current inventory is all there is. Within 6 months, we would see a global technological dark age. AI progress would halt. Medical imaging equipment would become impossible to repair. The modern world wouldn't run out of chips overnight, but it would run out of time. We are currently consuming the future faster than we can build its foundations. Here's the detail almost no one talks about. The world is trying to fix this. The US passed the CHIPS Act. The EU is spending billions to build mega fabs. But it's already too late for the short term. A state-of-the-art fab takes 5 to 10 years to reach full capacity. Even if we started 10 of them today, we are locked into this dependency for the rest of the decade. But more importantly, those new factories in Arizona or Germany, they still rely on a supply chain that eventually leads back to the same specialized chemicals, and components often produced in only 1 or 2 places. We didn't intentionally design a single point of failure for the human race. We discovered it after we built it. We optimized for efficiency and cost until we accidentally created a world where everything depends on a few square miles of high-tech clean rooms. If this factory fails, it doesn't just affect your ability to buy a new phone. It rewrites the balance of power in the world. It shifts the borders of nations and decides which economies survive the century. If you want to understand the invisible systems we depend on before they break, subscribe to Signal and Shadow. I'm Dennis Lisak. I'll see you in the next one.